For this video, I wanted to show you how you can make an assignment and why it is a much better idea to make an assignment here than to post it in your gradebook. And so for this video, I'm going to use one of my actual classes. That way you can see it sync up with the gradebook. And so in order to add an assignment, it can be homework, classwork, labs, projects, essays, research papers, whatever it is that you would collect from your students anyway. And you do need an assignment block. So you would have to go to add content, messages and activities, and then select the assignment block. There is a video on how to do that. But once you have an assignment block, like I have here, you can click on this gear, edit, and then add assignment. And so I'm going to add an assignment, and this one I'm going to call, because it isn't an active class and I don't want my students to freak out that this is something, and I'm going to make it for nowhere near our current day. That way they're not worrying about it. So let's make it for the end of November. I want it due at the beginning of class. So let's say that is 10:26 a.m. I believe that's the beginning of third block. Let's not have them submit online. We're not quite ready for that. But I do want to save it in the gradebook. And so for this particular grade, I want it to be 5 points, whatever the case may be. And then you can choose where you want it to go. Now for this class, I have a couple different blocks I could put it in, but I want it on my intro page for now. And so that's where I'll put it. If you have a copy of that handout that you wanted to attach so students would be able to find it later, you can certainly do that. I'll attach my recipes to it because why not? And so then when the students go, we'll get there. Okay, so I choose files. You don't have to, totally optional, and I'm going to click save. And so then that assignment now appears on my list. And so when I click save one more time, it has now updated this assignment block. And these assignments are chronological to due date. And so since I set this one for the end of November, it's all the way down here. So then if you click on the assignment now, you'll see that there is this attachment and it looks the same way for students as well. Okay, and the reason why it's better to add your assignment here is that now it will appear in students' calendar. So if I go over here to my student calendar and I go to November 30th, we can see that there is something due. So it shows up there. If you have an upcoming activities, well, it's not really upcoming, but it would show up there as well. When students have their main dashboard, when they first log on to Unified Classroom, it will be there as well. And so I'm trying to pull up mine. And so in this calendar it would appear. Again, I picked a date that was so far out, so let's just scroll a little bit. November 30th, here we go. So it also shows up there for students. And this is the really great part. If we go into our gradebook, our score sheet, please ignore my students' grades, please and thank you. But then we're going to skip, oh, wrong class, so ignore that class's grades as well, please. But then if I go here and I go all the way to the end, you can see that please ignore this has popped up in my grade book. You can see that it is worth 5 points, just like it was there before. And so we don't have to add this to the grade book. And then you can grade it right here and it would update the students' grades just like it normally would. And so then you don't have to do any more adjustment in your teaching. It just depends where you put it into PowerSchool. And hopefully you can see why it's a good idea to put assignments in Unified Classroom. Let me know if you have any questions and hopefully you found this helpful.